through it methodically, and program by program by program, and it should fit. It should fit. And I don't think it's going to be that hard. I don't think we're going to have to do anything other than press it. And if we know how to work the media, you know how to change people's perceptions in the marketing world, then that's what we do. But instead of brainwashing them to be evil, we'll be brainwashing them to be loving and caring. And once you start doing it, you'll know that it's the truth. So one more thing. This is an exercise that I'm trying to get people to do, and maybe I told you already, but you should try doing a devotion. Did you hear that one from me already? So I'll tell it again. So you should try doing a devotion, and you'll see why. But a devotion is something that you love to do, and if you saw it come up again, that you would do it for free, right? So you pick that devotion, and then every time you see the need for it, you go and do it for free. And the person will try to pay you or take you to lunch, and you'll say, no, I don't need to. This is my devotion. And you do that. And you'll find out why you need to do a devotion, because what happens is that you'll be doing these things, and you'll be, maybe by your third one, and someone will really come up and thank you, right? And there'll be a time where it'll hit you, and you'll get goosebumps, right? Or you'll feel like you want to cry, and you'll feel euphoric because you've done something for this person, and they didn't pay you. You didn't do it for pay. You just generally did it to help the person. And the feedback is the reward, right? So we'll finally learn, and this is what this football player says, that you get all these goals, and you reach them. And he says he won the Super Bowl, and he felt empty, right? He won all these golf tournaments. He felt empty. He got a nice house that he always wanted, felt empty. And it's because that when you're chasing goals or dreams that are ego-based, right? They're not connected to your soul. They're not connected to your heart. I want to score 100 on a football game, or I want to make this much. And when you get it, it doesn't satisfy you. But when you do something for another person, your kid, your wife, somebody at work, that you generally went out of your way to get this guy through, or have your son have a good experience, and you get that feeling like, wow, that's the purpose, the joy that we get when we're helping other people. And it seems corny, doesn't it? But no, I tried it because I read a book and they said to do it, and you'll find out why, right? And I said, yeah, I like doing card readings, right? And so I started doing them. And whenever I saw somebody that needed a reading, like I see them, something's the matter with them, then I'll do one, right? Like I was in a crypto Telegram group or whatever, and the guy's in there, and I'd see, this something's up with this guy, right? So I'd pull out my cards and I'd say, pick 2 coins and 3 cards, and I'd do a semi, entertainment reading on them, right? And then while I'm doing it, I'm telling the people that I do counseling for men for free as my devotion, and I tell the same story. And so inevitably, the guy that I'm thinking is in trouble would DM me, and I do a reading on him. And I've had readings, that the guy would come back, and it's a big letter, right? Followed up by a tweet, but he's telling me how, that he caught the problem that I was having. It was my dad, and the fact that my dad, didn't like me. And the fact was that they, their mom and him ganged up on him, and, he was hurt too, and this is why he needs to hear from you. And it salvaged his relationship with his dad. And the way he was telling me, I choked up, right? I was overwhelmed with, gushing, and it lasted for days, So that's what it is, right? That's what this joy is that people talk about when they make it all the money, they get all the girls, and they can't figure out why they're not happy until they figure out that it's this part of life, the caring of other humans, right? That brings this joy that is what we are meant to have, right? It's like our hearts are trained to handle emotions, right? And in the tribe days, it was really active, so they could sense who needs help, who does this, and they're led by their hearts. But now our hearts are closed, and we don't feel it. And even if you're a nurse, you get this fatigue, or you're mechanical. And this guy was saying, do a devotion, and you'll figure out why you need to do it, because you'll finally figure out what the joy is that we're supposed to have. It's the guiding thing in our heart that is pointing us to caring, right? And when you find it and you correct it, it rewards you. But we lost that, so we don't think about it, right? We don't think about helping because it's dead. It's dead in us, right? So they say that's what we need, right? When we're going through this long project, let's say, and we're going to need that feeling to get us through, because it's not always there, right? And we're not always feeling it. But if we know what that is, what that feeling is, we'll go up and really help that person, because I like that feeling, right? I like that feeling. It's like, I was in the hospital the other day, and there's these old people that are just dying, and they're in their wheelchairs or in their beds, or, gurneys, sitting outside because Thailand sucks. And I felt them, right? So I said, I'm going to go over there and just hold them. They don't, it's Thailand, right? So I go up to this old lady and I'm holding her, and it's my mom, right? I just felt I felt my mom in there, like the warmth of my mom. And I said, that is a feeling that we don't seek out because it seems odd, right? But that feeling is the high that you need to get, to make it through, because it's joy. It's joy. It's sad. It's it's love of a stranger, and I wasn't intimidated by doing it, and I just felt it. I just felt, yeah, that was mom, right? And so we got to figure that out, right? How we're going to get that put into our jobs, right? And we're probably not going to be able to do it because we're not around this. I think we're just putting the system up. But to have that knowledge that that's it, that's the joy that everyone's talking about, because that's what it is. Our hearts explode. We're looking for comfort. We comfort, and our hearts explode, and it trains us to do it. But we lost it because we don't feel our hearts anymore. All right, we don't feel our hearts anymore, and I hope I change, but you know what I mean. But every once in a while, I'll feel it. I'll feel it, and I'll gush, and I'll be, I'll appreciate someone for all get out, and that's what we're gonna need for this job. All right, I said enough.